Hi. This is Pengo Solvent, and this is maybe like the 5th time I've tried recording an intro for this Q&A stuff. I get really hung up and lose my train of thought because I suddenly have an interjecting thought that's like, remember to talk about this thing, and it just completely destroys my flow and I completely forget where I was at in order to remember what it was that I wanted to talk about. So I'm just trying to follow wherever I go, which means that this might be a bit rambling or it might be more focused because I just let myself say whatever I want to say. So we're going to see how that goes. I got more questions than I thought I would. And as a result, I've organized all of the questions into different topics. So this is the first of I don't know how many Q&A videos. I've already forgotten how many topics. Let's see, I've got art, music, character lore, specifically 2010s questions, which I have written as twents. And then I have miscellaneous. Oh, right. Okay, so I had a few miscellaneous questions. So I thought about just like answering one miscellaneous question per video. And I already know which one I'm going to be doing today. Anyway, so the first topic is art. And right off the bat, I'm going to talk about how the video is not Minecraft footage like I think I said it would be. I actually took hours and hours of Minecraft footage, but I ended up distracted Oh, that's my cat. Okay, so I ended up distracted while trying to play Minecraft while answering the questions, and then I ended up kind of distracted editing my Q&A while like I would play Minecraft, record it, and then put it as the backdrop for my original Q&A attempts, and I would get distracted just watching myself play Minecraft. So, okay, spoilers. The question I'm answering for the miscellaneous bit is about Minecraft, because somebody asked if I played Minecraft, and I was like, boy howdy, do I have footage for that. So I have a compilation of like little Minecraft stuff that I was doing for the Q&A video. It's like 7 minutes. It's only like, oh man, I'm gonna feel so weird if it's not 7 minutes and I misremembered that. But it's only the first bit of footage where I had tried to play the game and record answers at the same time. So it doesn't have, it might have, if I remember to edit that part in, it might have this part. That's my cat scratching her scratch post. Hi, Leia. Did you just say hello? You want to come up here? What do you want, Leia? I'm recording. And now thousands of people online are going to hear you. Is that your plan? I've been trying to record her meow for like ages, because it is the smallest, softest meow. And yet now that I am recording this Q&A, not only did she decide to visit, she decided to meow at me. She's a very silent cat most of the time, except when she's hungry, so she's probably hungry. This is going to be weird to edit, because I'm going to want to leave this in, but I know that there's going to be people that are going to be like, why is Pengo Solvent just having an introduction that's like 10 minutes long, and 5 of those minutes is him petting his cat? And I think this video might just be like that, because I tried to go the professional route and like edit out a bunch of stuff, and I don't know, it was kind of a slog. Like my first attempts at these videos were just kind of like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. And I really just want these videos to be fun. And if me rambling is not fun to you, I'm sorry. Actually, I'm not. I'm not really sorry. Because I want to answer these questions including myself. Like, I don't want to be, like, cold and professional about it. I've been there and I've done that, and it sucks. Here's some advice from me to you. Building your brand and being a version of you that's really sanitized and toothless and accessible and basically a product sucks. At least for me, I ended up feeling like an imposter all the time. Like, oh, everyone just wants that guy. The guy they can just imprint on and assume he's whatever they want him to be because he's literally built to be accessible because of trying to build an audience and all this. I have a lot of feelings about that. But I'd be like, everyone wants that guy. Nobody wants the actual me who, I don't know, who will talk about Mrs. Fillyjonk for like 3 hours. It's a really weird place to be, and I don't want to be there anymore. I'd rather just build an audience who wants to hear what I have to say because they like what I have to say or like care about me or something really weird, instead of me trying to curate an audience in ways that I think I'm supposed to, that have just made me miserable. Yeah, so I don't want this video to be like all stuffy and professional. I'd rather it just kind of be me talking. And if that bothers you, I'm not really gonna change that. I'm really not gonna change that. I'm denoting that, like, I'm mentioning that right now because I don't want this to be a thing where people leave comments like, why are you like rambling all the time? Why don't you just answer the questions? I just want to hear the answer to the questions. And it's like, this is the answer to the question. Well, not this, because it's the intro. But like, if I'm talking about something because of a question that's been asked, I am answering the question. It's just that my answer is going all over the place. And I like that. I like listening to people just like talk and like see where their mind goes. And I realize, like, wait, why am I holding myself to standards I don't like for imaginary people in my head that basically want to be fed information really easily? Like I'm a resource, I guess, instead of just a person. So that's where I'm at. Don't do it, Leia. She just stood up and looked menacingly at the table. So that's where I'm at. That intro is going to be disastrous. But that's good. Actually, this could be my exposure therapy for the day. My exposure response therapy for the day. Yeah, oh, I should mention that. I have OCD. It's more like pure O, which is like more like rumination and stuff, and it's not good. I have really bad perfectionism OCD. I have fucking crazy ass moral responsibility OCD. Whatever OCD would make it so that I don't go outside out of fear of being smoten. That's the OCD I have. And it's not great. I'd like to exist. So I guess I'm just, this is one of those things where it's scary. It's really scary for me to just exist and to say things and to know that I'm probably going to trip on my words and like not seem like perfect brand boy and whatever else. But that's going to be what it is. So having this video be kind of messy and like my cat showed up and half of the video is my cat audio. I'm probably, actually, I can put video from my cat too because I've been recording videos of her and she's awesome and amazing. But anyway, I wanted to mention Yeah, Minecraft. Back to Minecraft. Originally was going to record the Minecraft videos as a backdrop. Decided not to. I do have some footage that I will put at the end when I answer the question. This video's miscellaneous question. But yeah, I ended up not going with Minecraft. I didn't want to do that. Editing the video for Minecraft was also kind of a hassle. So I was just like thinking about it. Like I kept thinking about like, what am I going to do for my Q&A video? I ended up changing how I was doing it. I used to be answering it in order of when I received the question, but then it ended up being really jumbled. And so that's also part of why they're in topics now. I feel like that's probably going to help. But the other thing was I got a video recommended. I was just kind of like watching a bunch of videos on YouTube, and then I got recommended a video where someone, Shavion, was painting while talking about like mental health stuff and whatever. And I was like, oh my god, I didn't think about that. Like, it's not a revolutionary concept, but I didn't think about I could just set up a camera or something and draw, and that'll be more aligned to the video itself in general, and probably less distracting also. So that's what I'm doing now. You've probably noticed the video is me drawing in the parts that aren't Leia. And by the way, that video is really helpful. That video is like about dissociating and detachment and stuff, and I struggle with that a lot, so I'm going to link that in the description if you're interested in that. But anyway, one more thing I want to mention is that if you do have questions from this Q&A video, I will likely not be adding new questions for future Q&A videos, but I will probably respond to any questions in the comments just as a text reply. You know, like, I'm not gonna... I have quite a few questions already, and by the time that I post the first one, I might have already recorded my answers for the next topics. So yeah, try to be considerate in the comments, etc. Anyway, let's start. It's probably like 15 minutes long at this point, actually maybe a little bit less, which would be nice. I will probably trim some of the Leia parts, because I don't think my microphone even picked up Leia very well. But yeah, so the topic for today is art, like just general art. And the first question is by Moby4482, and they say, a Q&A sounds fun. I'll drop some questions here. What are your boundaries when it comes to people interacting with you / your OC / your work? What's your favorite part of your creative process, music or art? Oh, and this is such a question. The first one is such a question, because I would love to know my boundaries. I would love to know. I am still figuring that out. I do have some ideas, which I will get into, but I struggle a lot with knowing my own boundaries, actually. I've been hurt in a lot of ways. I would try to put up boundaries, and people would kind of trample them or walk past them, and, you know, growing up on the internet was not great as well for my boundaries. I met a lot of people that were not the best sometimes when I was a teen. And okay, here's one actually. Hi, it's me, Editing Pengo from the future. On the topic of people on the internet not respecting boundaries, here's one. Here's a boundary. If you know I don't want to interact with you, don't engage with me. Don't make sockpuppet accounts to try to interact with me anyway. That's definitely something that I can't believe needs stating, but yeah, like, I don't want that, and trying to interact with me with a disguise on will just guarantee that I never want to talk to you again. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Back to whatever I was talking about. I'm still unlearning some of that. I'm still figuring that out. And OCD doesn't make it easier. So this is probably not a comprehensive list for my boundaries with me, my OCs, my work, but I'm gonna give it a good try. So first, I'm not, I guess this isn't necessarily a boundary, but I would appreciate it if people kept in mind that I'm a person and that I don't know you guys. I have my own internal workings, my own thoughts, reasons I say things. So sometimes my tone may not be apparent. There was someone who I ended up asking, somebody made a comment that was like, this song is clearly inspired by this other artist. And I was like, I've never heard of this person. So I think I replied something like, I haven't heard of this person. Please don't assume this kind of thing towards me. Because I don't like that. So, okay, there's something. Please don't assume that I'm clearly inspired by someone, because odds are I don't know who you're talking about. I am extremely a hermit. And also sometimes you have it in reverse. Like there was, well, I don't know if they want to be named here, but there was somebody who is a fan of mine, and they were inspired by me, and I would get comments like, oh, you're clearly inspired by this person. And it got so bad that somebody sent me an anon ask once that was like, and this was years ago. This must have been 7. No, this must have been 10 years. Wait, no. Oh my God, when was this? I'm aging as we speak. Okay, well, this was probably 10 plus years ago. Had to be. And, someone was like, yeah, this person is copying your style. And I sent them harassment and whatever. This person was bragging about being mean to somebody who at the time was a minor. And I was just like, what are you doing? I was so what are you saying? Why are you doing this? I did not ask you to do this. And I did not get a reply from that anon, so I'm pretty sure that person felt pretty embarrassed because it did not go the way that they wanted it to go. But yeah, so don't assume inspiration, I guess. It's okay to be this makes me think of thing. I mean, sometimes that can be annoying if that's the only thing somebody says, but it won't make me feel whatever I feel when people are like, this is clearly XYZ thing, when it's no, it's not, and you're wrong, and it feels like you're overlaying something onto my existence that's really weird. It's very strange. I don't think that it's with intent to be mean or anything, but it is strange when people so confidently say that I was inspired by something that I've never seen before. Anyway, all of that was to say, I replied to this person to be like, hey, please don't do that. And then someone else got really upset with me for saying that, for being hey, please don't assume that I was inspired. And I kept trying to ask this person why are you so upset, or what's going on, why are you saying these things to me or whatever, why what in what I've said makes you upset and why, so that I can adjust my behavior. And they kept being very dodgy and snaky, and I kind of felt okay, this is the type of person who thinks that backing off means that they quote unquote lose. And so, after a while, I was just okay, I'm going to back off because this isn't going anywhere. And they seemed to be very, determined that I was being cruel. And it was so bizarre. Which, by the way, I found out later, I found a different video. Somebody, posted a song of mine with, an anime character as the image. And I was tickled by this. I was tickled by this, even though normally I don't like, that's another thing, I don't like reposts very much. Like, okay. If it's like a repost and it's like a character thing and like you've like sped it up or something, I accept this a little more because I'm like, okay, that's like probably a minor having fun with their friends and going like, look at my favorite character, so from Your Turn to Die. Aren't they great? Also, here's this song that shows how like wacky they are or something. And I'm like, oh boy, that is something that I'm not touching, but also it is kind of endearing to me when I'm in a good mood. When I'm in a bad mood, I don't look at anything to do with my work ever. But I'm trying to get better about that. But anyway, so like I was in a really good mood and I saw this video and I was just so charmed. And then in the comments, at least I think it was this video, in the comments was the guy trying to bully all of these like other people. And I was just so tempted. I was so tempted to be like, what's that about me being mean, dude? What's that about me being mean? But I was like, no. I choose peace today. I choose peace and love. I felt really like, that guy from Twin Peaks. Oh my god, what's his fucking name? I'm pausing this recording to find out who this guy... Uh-oh, I've been peeking the mic the whole time. No! Oh no, okay, I'm so used to talking on such a low volume. I didn't expect to peek my mic. I'm sorry, everybody. That's gonna take some editing. Anyway, I'm gonna pause and figure out who this guy is. Okay, I've unpaused and I've lowered my microphone's gain, so hopefully that's good. Anyway, the guy is called Albert, and I fucking love him. I'm absolutely putting a link to a video in the description of the exact scene I'm talking about, where Sheriff Truman is like pissed off because Albert's being kind of a dick, kind of a huge dick really, and he's like, I'm gonna punch you again. And he's just like, well, you know what? Fine. I pride myself in taking a punch, and I will gladly take another, because I choose to live my life in the company of Gandhi and King. I love it. It's like simultaneously so funny to me, but also like it's played so genuinely, and I'm like, yes, that's so real, dude. Anyway, that's right. And then Dale is like putting his hand just like softly on Truman. He's like, Albert's path is a strange and difficult one. Oh man. Okay, I'm getting distracted. I felt like that, where I was just so, I was so mad. I was so ready to be a dick, but then I was like, no. My concerns are global. I choose to live my life in the company of Gandhi and King. Yeah, so keep in mind that sometimes I say things in text and I am not coming across the way that I mean to at all. I still seem to be peeking the mic. I'm sorry. I guess that's just gonna be that way. I'm gonna figure that out later. So, I don't know you. I don't know what you're going through. I'm not trying to reply to you with negative intent. Sometimes I'm scared. Sometimes I get scared of commenters or others. And it would be appreciated if people don't assume that whatever tone they think I'm having in my reply is necessarily the tone that I am actually trying to convey. I cannot overstate how much of a hermit I am. I'm really not, like, I'm working on this in therapy. Like, I'm trying to, like, make friends and, like, go outside and do things. Hooray. But right now, I don't know fucking shit. I don't know shit, dude. I am fucking head empty. And me not knowing something doesn't mean I'm trying to be malicious. That's another one. This one is more of a boundary rather than, like, please keep this in mind. If you're not here with intent to be considerate, I'd rather you not be here. It doesn't really help anyone. Like, if you think I said or done something terrible, what are you doing by, like, trying to yell at me for it? Like, 9 times out of 10, when someone's upset at me, they don't understand what they're talking about. Like, someone was like, oh, you, like, ran someone off because you got upset that they didn't like banana juice. And it's like, what in the fuck? It's so much. And if that's, like, the level of engagement you're coming in with, don't bother, because I'm just gonna delete your comment. Like, I don't have time or interest in dealing with this anymore. Literally, the only thing it does is, like, make my OCD worse, which is not really something you should be, like, happy about, I guess. Like, oh, I'm, like, torturing someone, basically, by being, like, making the inner critic imaginary audience in their head real. And, like, if that's what you're doing, sincerely from the bottom of my heart, I think you should think about why you're doing it, because I used to be, like, a weird internet harasser. When I was 14, I, like, joined a forum of, like, edgy people, and I just thought being mean was cool, and, like, it took me a long time to shake that off. And by long time, I mean, like, Jesus Christ, like, the bulk of it was, like, I shaved that off when I was, like, 18, but then past that, I would just kind of be, like, mean in the background and, like, try not to show any of that publicly, which was part of the whole, like, thing that I was talking about earlier with, like, brand shit, where it's like, I knew that I was being mean, but I knew that, like, if I was, like, public about being mean, that, like, people would be mean back, so I would just be, like, secretive about it, which is so cowardly, and didn't really help me get help either. And, like, okay, it doesn't help too that, like, there would be people seeking me out to be mean, and not to mention it was really awful for everyone around me. Like, I hurt a lot of people, even if I wasn't being mean about them. Like, it just was, like, feeding all of the people around me poison all of the time, and it was just, oh, well, okay, like, I did, this is such a, like, complicated situation. Like, some of the people also, like, were hateful and fed me poison, and then I fed them poison. It was just bad. It was just bad. You don't want that. Like, I promise you, you don't want it. Once you're out of it, you think of those times, and you're just like, woo. That's, like, its whole can of worms. But, like, when you seek people out to be mean to them, there are underlying reasons that are about you and not the person. And I think it's really important that you look into that. And I'm saying that because I do think that there are people who will hate listen to this. And I do try to keep that in mind. But I am trying to keep it in mind farther away in my head. Because I just, like I said, I want to live life. I don't really want to cater to these people, even if I used to be like these people before. Because ultimately, it's up to you to want to, like, change. And it's up to me to go, your behavior is unacceptable. I'm not accepting it. So that's what I'm saying there. If you're coming in with intent to harass, first of all, if you're coming in with intent to harass and you're, like, half an hour or so into a video, that's very strange. That's very strange. Like, you're intaking things that you really don't like while saying that you don't like it. And you could be, like, filling that time up with things that you do like. So that's the thing I'm saying, though. That's, like, the thing I'm talking about. Where when I was more hateful, it was just easier to hate. And it was harder to, like, find things that I actually enjoyed doing. And I feel like people don't talk about that enough. Or, like, I don't see people talk about it. But, again, I'm a hermit. So maybe, like, people are all talking about it. And I just haven't, like, noticed. Maybe, like, we're, like, living in future cars and, like, chrome buildings now. And I just haven't gone outside enough to see that. But anyway, the more, like, you fill your life with things that you hate. And not like, oh, man, this, like, bad movie is bringing me genuine glee and joy and delight. Not like that kind of stuff. I'm talking about, like, I'm watching shit to be mad and to talk to others, to be mad with them. I genuinely believe that there is an addictive quality to hatred, because you get relief when you indulge hatred. And as someone with OCD who is really, really realizing how much the brain can just fuck around and find out in regards to relief and doubt and hatred, it's not great. It's not great. So yeah, that's my whole thing. If you still listen, well, good luck, I guess, because you're gonna be listening to someone you hate talk about things they love for a really long time. That's a bit strange. It's a bit taxing. It makes me tired just thinking about it. But anyway, yeah, so no harassment. Any harassment is just gonna basically be deleted. If you have questions about things and, like, you're genuinely, like, trying to be considerate, then I don't mind necessarily, but depending on my energy, I probably won't answer you, honestly, because I've written so much about, like, just my thoughts and my feelings, and people still come at me with, like, the same shit, and it's just irritating. It's really not my responsibility after a point. Anyway, another thing is I'm not a fan of conservative politics. I don't really want to be around people who are unwilling to change their minds about, like, climate change and minorities, and I just don't, I'm not gonna change my mind on that. Like, if you're a fan of mine and you're not supportive of trans people and just LGBTQ plus people in general and, like, whatever else, I mean, I can't stop you from listening to my music, but I would ask you to reconsider that position, because I am a trans person. I am gender fluid. I guess in simple terms, quote unquote, was born a woman. I transitioned at 18 to live my life as a guy, and then recently I've been exploring more of my feminine side again. So I use he or she, though typically just he. And I understand that there are reasons for why people get stuck on these sort of mentalities of, like, anti-transness or anti-gay or whatever. But I don't want that to interact with me. I just don't. I mean, it's like kind of weird to, like, say that, because I feel like with how, like, weird my content is, I don't feel like many of my viewers are going to be traditionally conservative. But you never know. And if you are traditionally conservative and you're like, oh no, Pengo Solvent doesn't like me anymore, you can always change. I'm not telling you have to, but change is a part of life, and if change is scary to you, it's meaningful to figure out why that is. Like, if you're around people who would judge you, or if you're just, like, afraid of the unfamiliar, or uncertain, or, like, you like when things, quote unquote, make sense, and it makes more sense for things to be more traditional to you, so on, you can always figure that stuff out. It's just, I don't want to deal with that. One more thing before I forget. This isn't me being like, oh, you can't interact with me if you're white, cis, straight, or whatever. I don't mind that at all. And it feels weird that I even have to clarify this, because I want to be so clear that I'm not trying to be like, oh, transness and wokeness and all this stuff is, like, really good, and, like, only interact with me if you are those things. And no, it's more like I just don't want to encounter hatred for my existence. It's literally, it hurts to feel that someone thinks I shouldn't exist and don't deserve to feel happy and safe in my life because I've dated people who are the same gender as me, or because I choose to identify differently than what is expected in traditional society. Like, it's not any deeper than that, really. It's a respect thing. It doesn't feel like you're respecting me. It doesn't feel like you think that I deserve respect if you think that trans people don't deserve rights. Or if you look down on people who aren't white, because, surprise, I'm not white. Or if you look down on disabled people, because, surprise, I'm also that. So it's like, okay, cool. I don't want to be around someone who doesn't want to listen to my issues and thinks they're not real. Or things like climate change and the way that humanity is affecting the planet isn't real. Like, these are really serious issues to me. But sometimes people get really defensive where they kind of act like, oh, because you identify as trans, that means that you hate cis people. And I really hope that nobody listening to this thinks that way. I mean, I'm not gonna say, like, no trans people ever hate cis people, because there are many hateful people out there, and I'm not gonna ignore that sometimes people can be really aggressive. Like, people who have been hurt can be very hurtful. But I do want to be clear that that's not what this is. I think that maleness, that cisness, that straightness, that whiteness, that it's all different ways of intersection for identity. And I think it would be nice if people could actually have discussions about that doesn't evolve into... I'm tired thinking of this topic. I think I'm done. I think I made my point. Sometimes I just keep talking even though I'm tired of what I'm saying. But whatever. But, like, hopefully that's clear enough. If you are this mythological conservative Penguin Solvent listener and you're feeling, like, weird about what I just said, please take time before leaving a comment. If you leave a comment, please just, like, realize that I just want to exist, and I live in fucking Florida. It's not great here for a trans person right now. So I want to interact with that sort of thing as little as possible. So hopefully that is extremely clear. Moving on. Oh yeah, I would rather not interact if you think feelings are meaningless. I think feelings are really important. I'm still trying to figure out how to work with that. Like I said, I'm going to therapy. I have OCD, so I get really, like, strong black and white thinking. And a lot of that came from thinking my feelings don't matter. A lot of my OCD leans really heavily on certainty and objectivity. Haha, OCD leaning on certainty. Haha, who would have ever thought of that? It's not like it's a disease of doubt or anything. So, like, if you're someone who is really, like, feelings don't matter and generally, like, not wanting to acknowledge if someone's been hurt or struggling, I don't think that you'll have a good time around me and my work, because a lot of it is about feelings, even if they're, like, kind of obscured feelings. Like, Bravo Cat is an album about abuse, partially. It was made while I was being abused, and it was having a lot of feelings. I was having a lot of feelings at that point. I think if you're struggling with feelings, like, if you're struggling with objectivity but you want to engage more with feelings, that's fine. But if you're, like, someone who's, like, staunchly, like, facts don't care about feelings or whatever, you're just gonna tire me, and I don't really want to talk to you, and I don't really want to budge on that at all. I guess that's it for myself? Question mark? Wait, no. To elaborate on the, like, be considerate and, like, remember I'm a person, also remember that because I don't know you, this is especially for, like, okay, if anyone who is, like, really playful and friendly online and, like, really jokey a lot, sometimes I don't want to be jokey. Sometimes I don't feel comfortable. Sometimes I don't know you. And if you joke about me, that's very strange and uncomfortable for me. Like, someone, like, joked in a server I was in, like, oh, this sounds like Pengo Solvent, haha. And I was like, this is really weird. This is a really weird joke to make while I'm in the server. I don't know, like, it just felt strange. I don't know what this song sounds like. I don't know what they're referencing or why, and it makes me kind of uncomfortable to, it wasn't like I don't think they genuinely thought it sounded like me. I think they were just invoking me somehow for a joke. And so I was like, this is kind of strange. And a few others also brought up how they felt from that because, like, hero worship online is kind of a thing. Like, parasocial relationships is, like, kind of stressful. A lot of people have opinions about it, and then this person unfortunately got really stressed out and kind of had a meltdown about it and left. And it's like, oops. So I want to, like, mention it right now that, like, if you're kind of, like, putting me on a pedestal and, like, joking about me and, like, okay, I understand. I really understand that some content creators actively curate this sort of thing where it's like they have, like, a nickname for their fans or something, and they're like, hey, all you bloopers, today we're gonna do thing, make sure, like, comment, subscribe. Yeah, so, like, I know that there are, like, YouTubers that, like, build up kind of that parasocial engagement, and so, like, I understand that some people are just used to that. I don't like it. Also, by the way, I said bloopers randomly. I don't know enough YouTuber people to know if that's actually something they've ever said. If that is something that somebody has said, I was not meaning to reference them. I generally have no idea. Anyway, I was like, why did I say bloopers? And the reason is because I was thinking of SpongeBob. I was thinking of, hey, all you goobers, with the Goofy Goober peanut from the first movie. Anyway, yeah, I'm boring. I don't feel particularly inclined to be like, hey, all you solvers. I think somebody said that. Shit, I think somebody said that once, but I don't remember who. It's like, when I talked to them about this, they were like, hey, solver squad or something. But, like, no, I don't want that. Please don't do that. Like, I know I'm joking about it. Please don't do that. I don't actually want that at all. It makes me uncomfortable, honestly, because I'm just kind of a dude. I'm just kind of a guy, and I don't want weird, like, leadership position. I'm still, like, slowly working on a server, and actually maybe by the time this video comes out, it'll be a thing, but we'll see. I don't want this, like, weird power dynamic where, like, I'm a guy and you are a subset of people. like that's how it feels to me sometimes with these, like, YouTubers that, like, do weird parasocial shit, like hey, bloopers. So, like, for my server, I want it to be my server. I want it to be where I can feel comfortable, and it is going to be based on, like, my values and whatever. But I don't want it to be like I'm sitting on a throne and you are the ones who feed me crumbs, and I go, thank you, my subjects, for giving me these crumbs, and you go, no problem, I'm so happy to give you crumbs. I don't want that. I really don't want that. So please don't treat me like a weird glorified cartoon character. Don't do that, please. Please. Okay, about my work, please consider my comfort about my own work. I know that the internet is kind of a Wild West. I almost said wasteland. It is also that too, but, like, it's also the Wild West sometimes when it comes to, like, artists and their work being respected, especially with all the AI stuff going on lately, which is, like, really depressing to me because I feel like AI had, like, a huge potential and still has a huge potential of, like, helping, but I don't like seeing how corpo it is. But that's a whole other topic. I get the internet's a wild west about respecting artists, that people still, in the year of our Lord 2024, go like, oh, well, if you didn't want it used, you shouldn't have posted it. Like, if I can Google it and use it, then you shouldn't have done that. And it's like, no, stop. Holds out hand. I said holds out hand, but I meant like putting my hand out like a stop sign, sort of, like a halt. Different artists have different comfort levels, and when I was a teen, I got kind of popular, and that was a mistake. People like just used my characters a lot, and it sucked a lot, and that was around when I was being edgy, so like I was really mean to people too, and it was ugh. But like, my characters hold a lot for me, and I would prefer that people not treat them like they can just do whatever with them, if that makes sense. I would really vastly prefer respect and consideration for the characters as well. In that regard, I'm okay with fanart. I think somebody like asked me about fanart, so I'll probably elaborate more there. But, like, I'm okay with fanart generally. I do not seek it out, specifically because I understand that a lot of my feelings about fan work that are negative come from my own experiences. So I don't want to discourage people, especially young people who found something that they like about my work and rely on it in some way and are like exploring themselves through this character or whatever. I remember when I was a kid, I was so attached to Azure Flame Kite from .hack.gu, and I would draw so much that was just out of character and just like not remotely what Azure Flame Kite was like, but like that was a really important character for me. Very like supported me a lot through some hardships I went through, and I don't want to take that away from people necessarily, but at the same time I don't want to deny that sometimes I can feel uncomfortable. And so if you're going to show me fan art, be aware that I might be kind of stilted, especially if you come off like you really want my validation. Sometimes people will be like, here's some fan art. I drew this character and I really like them. And I'm like, wow, thanks. And then sometimes people will be like, oh my god, I just drew this character at Spengo Sullivan like 5 times. I love your stuff so much. I hope you like this because I tried really hard on it, and etc. And like, it starts to feel like pressure on me where I'm like, I feel like they really want me to love this. And that's making me scared. And I don't mean to call anybody out because I don't think it's necessarily wrong to be really excited to draw a character and to show the person who made it. But if you do approach me like that, I am like a frightened animal, and I will probably struggle in my response if I respond at all. Especially if it has something to do with voices. I struggle with my voice. I have a lot of baggage in relation to my voice, and sometimes people have sent me things where they will voice act characters or comics of mine, and I have never watched them because I will feel some kind of emotion I don't have words for. And I know that they don't want me to feel that way. And if you're someone who has done this and you are going, oh, that's why Pengo never replied to those times that I added him or like mentioned him in this thing that I did. Yes, that is why it is to the point that sometimes I don't know how to like even talk about it. Like, I don't know how to be like, hey, this is nice, but like I can't watch this because I feel like I'm disappointing the person who made it. Like, they tried their best, they did something out of the kindness of their heart, and like it's really hard for me when I feel like I'm going to disappoint someone, because it's like, if I made something for someone else, or, well, it's not necessarily for me. I don't think these people made it for me, but like if I made something and I showed someone else and they were like, I'm sorry, I can't watch this because it's gonna make me feel weird that you voice these characters of mine and I have kind of issues with voices, I might feel kind of disheartened. And if I'm having a bad mentally ill day, I might feel shattered. So, yeah, I mean, in the future, I'm hoping to get better about this in the future. Because I do want to care about what people make in relation to my characters. Like, I do want to share my stories and connect with people and exist. But as of right now, you don't have to not make these things. I'm not asking you not to make them, but be aware that if you do, I won't be able to listen to them. I get really finicky about sound. And then there is NSFW, not safe for work, aka like explicit artwork, adult artwork. It is a complicated topic for me. I am aware that people have feelings about characters that can sometimes become sexual. And I feel like I would love to be somebody who would go, yeah, awesome, explore to your heart's content. But I am not that person. It makes me uncomfortable to see it. And I don't know how to word this as a boundary well, because again, you know, me mentioning the whole thing of like being a kid or a teen and like growing up with characters that like really meant a lot for me, and like I know that like even like adults, like characters can mean a lot to them too, and I feel like that applies to NSFW, where you might have a character that you're attracted to or that you feel some kind of connection with, and I don't want to squash people's feelings there, but I really don't want to see it. I just don't want to see it. So if you do make stuff like that, I would really, really request that you not at me, you don't show me, and also that you're respectful towards the character, because there are things in these characters that I've put that matter a lot to me, and if you just kind of treat them like a doll that you can just abuse and do whatever with, that does hurt to see, and I would really prefer not to see that. That brings me to my next topic, which is kinning. This is a difficult one. I can feel very strongly about characters. I can feel really connected to them in ways where I really relate to things they're going through, where like I want to make like work that involves them but also my feelings. And like when I was a teen, I briefly flirted, I suppose, with the idea of taking characters as identities that ultimately didn't. I just wanted to take my own characters as my identities. So that's the extent of my personal understanding of kinning. I've tried to understand other ways, like talking to people about it, but most of the time my experience has been people kinning a character of mine or a friend's character and being really entitled about it and really hurtful about it. And I really just don't want that. I don't. I
do not want people acting like they are my characters, because again, I've put really personal things into my characters, and I understand that many people say that they can't help their feeling, and that's fine. It can coexist with my feeling, which is I don't want to be around that. Like, if a character is really special to you and you identify with them, okay, but I don't want to be around someone who identifies as a character of mine, because it makes me feel really, really fucking bad when I'm like talking about a character of mine with my own experiences of traumas and memories and whatever else that I've put into them, and someone will be like I'll be like, I love this character so much, they mean a lot to me, and then someone will be like, oh, thank you, and it's like, not you, wow, you have some kind of boldness to you that I do not want to interact with again, thank you. I know not everybody who kins is like that. That's great, honestly, but it is just something that I don't want. I don't want to feel like when I talk about my characters, someone is going to be like, Pengu Solvent is wrong about this character because XYZ. It's like, okay, that's great and all, then please just make your own character. Please just make your own character that is not mine, because mine has literally my experiences and was made for reasons connecting to me. Like, I really don't want to be mean about this. Like, I am genuinely trying to be considerate here, but I need to be firm about that because it does feel violating. Like, I would post my own sonas sometimes, and people would tag them as kin, and it was just awful. It was just awful to feel like, no, that's not you, that's me. Like, please. It's hard because I already struggle with like not valuing myself. Like the whole thing that I mentioned earlier with like making this version of me that's like more accessible and prettier and better and like brand acceptable or whatever, and it's hard to feel okay being me when I feel like there are people who are ready to like take the parts of me that I'm trying to share. And I'm trying to get better about it. Like, I want to get to a point where I don't feel like I even care. Like, where, like, if somebody were like, yeah, that's me, I'd be like, it's not, but okay. I'm not at that point yet, though. Anyway, another thing regarding my work, reposting music. I mentioned it a little bit earlier. I prefer if people make animation memes that they credit me, of course. I've gotten a little bit more like lax about it. I'm like trying to be like understanding. I'm trying to not just view the world in this black and white thinking sort of lens of like people are taking my things and like being like not caring and like they're not thinking about me as a person. I'm like, yeah, but like a lot of those people are like kids who just want to make animation memes and like they're like exploring their creativity, and that's awesome, and I want to be nicer about that, you know? And so like I've gotten a bit more lax about that, but I don't like when people repost things and it's just purely the song, like not even like Night Chord Up or something. It's like I keep getting messages about people who like posted shit on Spotify, or like somebody who just like took a song of mine and like sped it up and like named it something different. And I'm like, that's bad faith at that point. That's not like sampling. That's just you took it and then you named it something different. Also, by the way, please stop like messaging me about like the person on Spotify. I don't seem to be able to contact them in any other way except to send a legal takedown, which I don't want to do. I don't want the solution to this to be using the long arm of the law to crush somebody. Okay, the only time I have done that was when somebody like reposted a song and I went to their, like YouTube flagged it for me, and I went to their channel and they were like, I post copyrighted songs, XD, don't mark me for copyright. And like in the description they like said something taunting, and I was like so I was so mad in that moment. I was not having a good day that I did send a legal takedown. But it was like one that like took 7 days, so like they could just take it down themselves if they wanted, which I don't think they did. So I did think it went through. And then I felt like really weird and bad about it. It was just like, really? This is like the only thing? Okay, like they didn't have comments open. You can't direct message on YouTube. So I was just like, I don't know. Like I tend to prefer to talk first, to be like, hey, please don't do this. Can you just like take it down? But I don't know. It really does feel like an uphill climb sometimes, because people are just like really not caring about artists. And again, it's like not even sampling. It's just straight up reposting completely. Like there's nothing changed about it. There's no value I could see there, except maybe to monetize it, and that sucks. It sucks so much. About my work, okay, I talk about me, my OCs, my work. Okay, there's an extra one about others, because I've mentioned stuff like people who've upset me, like people who were like kinning weird, or like people who were like kind of aggro to me, or people who were harassing me. Here's a big thing that I want to point out. I would really prefer if somebody doesn't follow whatever like boundaries or requests I made above, that people don't harass them. Do not do that. Like, I don't think harassment actually works in the long term. I don't think it actually like makes people even stop whatever they're doing. Like unless you're like literally harming them to the point that they're scared to post. And I don't like that. Like, there's a difference between talking to someone to explain something, or like even to defend oneself, versus like seeking others out to harm them. Like there was like somebody who like was starting, like who DM'd me like NSFW of my characters that somebody drew, to be like, look what they did. And I'm like, hey, like I don't think I responded to them. I think I was just like to myself, just like, hey, what the fuck? What? because it's really like, why are you trying to upset me to go punish someone else? Why are you treating upsetting me like this person deserves punishment? I don't like that. I don't support that. I don't want that. So if you see someone doing something that you think I won't like, you have the option of telling them I might not like it, if you are capable of doing so in a way that is not trying to hurt them. And if you are not capable of that, I would just rather you not do anything. You don't have to defend me. It's okay. It's not your responsibility. You don't have to be mad at people and just like hurt them for things. You can talk about your feelings. So please don't do that. I mean, I even brought up that person before who was like, yeah, I sent an ask to like yell at that person for like imitating you or whatever. And it's like, yes, sometimes when people copy my style, I do get upset and sad, and back then especially, but like, I don't want that. I don't want that. I think there's a huge difference between quote unquote punishing a bully and caring for whoever you think got hurt. Like, I just don't think that being a bully back helps. And that's a lesson that I definitely had to learn in Fire. So don't make that mistake. If you want to fight someone, think about why. I'm not saying that there's like never a time or place for being staunch about something, or being like unwavering or intolerant of some sort of negativity or whatever else. But if you're doing it because you think you have to defend me and you're going to hurt someone over it, I don't want it. It's not for me, it's for you. You're doing it because you want to do it, not because I want it. Please keep that in mind. Thank you. So
that's that for the boundaries, I guess. I mean, like, no, like, bad faith things. Like, if you're drawing fan art and, like, you genuinely like the character, that's awesome. If you're, like, drawing fan art and it's, like, making fun of the characters or, like, making fun of me, it's like, come on, man. Like, why are you pouring energy like this? It's kind of shitty. And, like, I say that as somebody who both used to be that way and also got really hurt when I was a teenager from that. Like, somebody, like, this... from what I remember, I think she was an adult. She, like, made a comic, like, making fun of me. And people were like, why are you doing this to, like, a 15-year-old? And, like, I actually didn't see the comic at first. Because people were like, why are you doing this so much? That, like, she deleted it. But, like, somebody had saved it for, like, posterity's sake. And I ended up seeing it there. But anyway, you have better things to do with your time. And then, what's your favorite part of your creative process? Music or art? Woo! It only took an hour to get to the to the second part of the first question. Oh no. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going to be posting a video that's probably 8 hours long. Unless I divide it. I might make it like art part 1, art part 2. Anyway, for music, and wait, I don't think I've put this in the music section. Yeah, okay. For music, I don't know, actually. I definitely like it when I actually feel like I know what I want to do. Like, if I'm like, oh, this needs some bells here, or like, this needs a sound going like weirdly wobbly, and like, if I know what I want and I know how to do it, oh man, that's awesome. That makes me so happy. And then like, I get to hear it and it's exactly how I wanted it. That's probably my favorite part. I wish it was less rare. But I'm like doing a daily music thing lately. Oh, I should probably mention that. I'm doing a daily music thing. It's on co-host on Wenthos. I'll probably put a link to that too, and I should mention that I'm going to link to that, and I'm going to write that down so I remember. Wenthos co-host. Yeah, so it's like a daily thing where I just like post a song daily. That's to try to get myself back into like making things. Making music. And the favorite part of art, I guess that depends on like what I'm doing, like digital, traditional, mixed media. Right now, I've been doing a lot of like gel pen and gouache. And for gel pen, I'm like looking through the sketchbook right now. For gel pen, I think my favorite part is like adding the water and like getting to see how the image, like the ink runs and starts. Oh no, what the hell? Sorry, there's like, I looked and like one of the pages had like water from like a, wait a minute, is this? Okay, yeah. So it had gotten stained from like the page on the opposite side. So I'm like, no, but it's fine. I just like when the color runs and it like looks vibrant and it's kind of like looks nice and shaded and stuff. And with gouache, I also like that. I really like sketching with the gel pen and then painting with gouache over it, and you can still see a little bit of the gel pen underneath, and then like I can refine it again once I'm done painting with gel pen, so it's like nice and crisp and bright and cool. I really like texture-y stuff. Like with digital art, I can like put textures on there, or like the shading tends to kind of be a bit gritty or grungy, and that's the shit I like. I really like that. I like when I can make things sharper. I like when, I don't know, I like when it starts to feel more like I look like I know what I was doing, instead of just like, here's this like unfinished thing. Which is really part of why comics are so hard for me to do. I feel like I struggle so much to feel that with comics. I don't feel like my comics ever give me a feeling of like, yes, this feels the way I want it to, or like this surprised me and turned out really nice and like has like really nice textures and composition and all that. Like sometimes like I really like when I made comics with marker, but Prismacolor discontinued their markers, so like
it makes me kind of nervous to use the Prismacolors I have left. I just... There's something about comics that's just really hard to feel satisfied with them. I'm satisfied with the end result. So I struggle with that. I think that's that. That was the first question. Hooray. The next question is by Canalman. Hope things will go your way, Pengo. Your music truly is a major inspiration to me. So, I have a small question relating to that. How do you feel when people tell you that your art has inspired them, be that visual or auditory? P.S. Will we ever see more of the bridge blank guys, or do you reckon they've served their general purpose? 2 questions in one. Greedy, I know. So first I want to say I have like a section about 2010 specifically. So I'm going to answer that second question in that section later. But the first one, how do you feel when people tell you that your art has inspired them, be that visual or auditory? That's a mixed bag. I think sometimes it determines, it is like my response and how I feel is really based on how I am told and how that inspiration manifests. Like, I feel like generally I feel at least neutral, which is good. That's good for me because I used to be really insecure about that and like really upset about it. Because as mentioned, when I was a teenager, there was like this whole like weird stuff and people would steal my characters and then people would like claim people were stealing my characters even when I got older. But like when people are like genuine about it, like you really inspire me. Like this is like meant a lot to me and helped me or whatever. Like I can feel pretty nice about that, especially if I'm in a good mood. Like if I'm feeling good about myself and like just vibing and like non-judgmental and like my OCD is like taking a break and I like see a comment like that, I'm like, wow, that's wild, this is crazy, this is so fucking cool, like I'm having an impact on people, what the hell. Like when I'm not having a good day and when people being inspired by me looks more like, when it feels more like extraction. Okay, so sometimes people express inspiration in ways where it feels like they expect validation from me and they want more out of me. Like they are enjoying what I have made in a way where they value it solely because of what it means to them rather than like remembering that I'm a person who made it for my own reasons too. Like it's not just a song for your characters, guys. A lot of songs are for my characters or my feelings. When people are inspired in that way, it can feel pretty uncomfortable for me. It can feel really like, when I was like really in pain over this kind of stuff, I described it as like people picking at my corpse because I was really hurt from a lot of things and really struggling with my own creativity, and it felt like everyone else was like able to harness something out of me and like use what they liked while I was unable to even be myself very well. There was even someone who was like, I've seen people do Pengo Solvent's aesthetic way better than him. I still think about that because I'm just so like, now that I'm quote unquote better, I'm on the path to recovery. OCD is not great. Now that I am trying to kind of be there for myself more, I realize how much of a bizarre thing that is to say and how it's not accurate. Like, no one can do my aesthetic better than me because it's my aesthetic. If someone else is doing it and they do something different that I would not have done, it is inspired by my aesthetic, but it's not my aesthetic. So it's really weird. It's like this person determined that they knew what my aesthetic or what I was going for, like they knew it better than I did, and then decided that other people were better at it. But that just kind of sounds like they like what other people do more, but they made it about how I'm failing to do what I do. Like, it's very strange. So that's kind of my thoughts there. I can really like it. I can also feel really bad about it when people are inspired by me, depending on how secure or insecure I feel. I still definitely struggle sometimes with feeling like, oh, people are just like using my art and music, and like I can't make my own things, and like I'm disappointing everyone, and like people who are taking inspiration or just using me or just whatever. And like I know that that's more about me than about others most of the time. I mean, there are some people who are literally like taking from me, like people like reposting stuff without even like changing anything about it or like etc. Generally, I'm trying to move towards being able to accept inspiration positively, consistently, because I think that would actually honestly be really healthy even for me, to be able to accept that like people like me and like my stuff and are inspired by it. Like, people say it a lot, but like depression and low self-esteem makes it hard to like really truly grasp that, and I would like to grasp it. So let's see. The next question is by Resident Elson 2086. Oh sweet. My question goes like this. Is there any aspect of your art/music inspired by the early 2000s, 2010s RPGmaker games? If so, what games inspired you the most? If not, what did lead you to develop such a unique style? I ask this because a lot of your tracks felt to me like I'm chasing this elusive dream I can barely remember, a feeling I share with the likes of Yume Nikki, Endroll, Liat, and the sort. Okay, so the first time I answered this, I meandered on it. Like, I was like, yeah, I don't know, I don't think so. I mean, I liked Yume Nikki. Then it was like, wait, Off, duh. Off definitely inspired me in terms of like what an RPG Maker game could be like. At the time, I was oh my god. So how do I talk about this? Okay, so I had an RPG Maker game demo in 2013 called Rec, and I still want to make it. Yes, I still want to make it. I know people ask me about this every so often. I do want to make it. You can thank depression, OCD, etc. for me not making it yet, but I really hope that it will be nice when I do make it. Anyway, so in 2010, Rec started as a Yume Nikki fan game. You'd go to sleep, you'd go to the dream world, all of that stuff. And then I played Off later, and I was like, wait, RPG Maker games can be RPGs? I was like, wait a minute. Right, there's a battle system and I can use it. I can just do whatever I want to do. I don't have to, like, constrain myself to Yume Nikki because I saw Yume Nikki first. And I made the rec demo in, like, 3 months. I was really inspired. I liked that Off used like old-timey samples, which is why Rec has a lot of old-timey samples in it too. Yume Nikki visuals definitely inspired me. I really liked QQ-kun. And what's his fucking name? Yume Nikki Masada. I like that guy, I think. Like, I say that I like him, but, like, he was kind of, like my first... Okay, so if I have 5 favorite characters in Yume Nikki, it's QQ-kun, QQ-kun, QQ-kun again, QQ-kun in the 4th one, and then Masada. So, well, to be fair, there were probably other characters I really liked that were just, like, kind of in the distance, that, like, one-off characters that most people didn't really, like, focus on, whose names I don't really remember. Hi, this is Pengo from the future. I'm editing right now. I remembered another character I like. So between 4th place QQ-kun and 5th place Masada, 4.5th place is, if I remember correctly, this little, like, rectangular vase or like triangular vase full of blood. I don't remember this character except that there was like a project a long ass time ago for like animating Yume Nikki characters, but they're like in a fighting game, and like I had ideas for that character specifically, like falling over and like the liquid inside like splashing on you and causing damage or something. I do remember I liked that creature. Now back to your regularly scheduled me talking. So I think Yume Nikki did inspire my art style to some degree, but like not too hugely. Dot flow. Ooh, I love dot flow. Like I really love dot flow. I was really, really a fan of dot flow. I haven't played it in forever, so I don't remember what it's like. Same with off. I haven't played off in forever, so I don't remember what it's like that much. But dot flow, I used to run an Ask Oreko blog. Whew, I used to do that. That's true. The memories are coming back. And so, like, I drew Oreko for a long time. And that was when I was, like, kind of starting out with, like, digital art, I think. So that definitely inspired me. But apart from that, I don't know if much else. Because, like, your third question is, what, if not, what did lead you to develop such a unique style? And I don't think that the RPGmaker games are why my style is the way it is. If I have to attribute my style to... If I had to pick 3 things to attribute my style to. 1, Casey Green. Hands down, Casey Green. I was reading his webcomics since I was the size of a pea. I was so, like, I came across that shit. I kind of embarrassed myself by asking if he took guest comics when I was, like, fucking, like, what? Like, 12? How old was I? I had to be a baby. I had to be a fetus. But anyway, absolutely Casey Green. I might be... If I remember to, I will put some of his art up on front. Then I would say Klonoa 2, Lunatia's Veal. Definitely that one. Lot of fun, cool characters, unique visuals, absolutely stunning. Oh shit, did I say 3 things? Did I say 3 or 5? I have to think about what this third thing is gonna be. Sonic the Hedgehog. I was drawing so much Sonic stuff when I was a kid. That was definitely it. I guess if I said 5, then Dot Hack and FLCL. I'm putting those 2 together because I had the FLCL manga when I was a kid, and I would like draw Conti and like trace from it, and I think that I maybe should not have had that when I was a kid, but I don't know. Same with Dot Hack. I had the games. I was obsessed. I'm still obsessed. I love Elk and Mia. Azure Flame Kite. Anyway, and the 5th thing, Looney Tunes. I forgot to say Looney Tunes earlier, but definitely Looney Tunes. Although that might like fall in with Casey Green, because his style is also pretty toony. So if I had to pick another 5th thing, fuck, what else is my style from? It's like a lot of different bits and pieces. Shit. Okay, so I just took like 10 minutes straight up to try to think of a 5th thing, and I finally landed on one. Mirror mask. Pretty sure that this thing was very inspirational to me. There was just a bunch of like different things that just had non-human characters in it that were like, I took bits and pieces and like thought about it a lot and was inspired by it, but like Mirror Mask is the thing that I'm going to use to like represent all of that, because I can't think off of more out of the top of my head, except for of course Klonoa 2, which has some of the greatest character designs ever. I think that's it.
So then the next question, that's awesome. I'm knocking these out of the park now. It's almost like the first question was just really dense. So Yeasario asks, "Oh hey, the Q&A sounds incredibly exciting. Personally, I think it is a great start to getting back into interactions with your fans, as long as you are comfortable. Thank you. I'm sorry to hear about the situation with your roommate. Oh, update on Matt. He's doing better. He's going to school again. He's going to go to school again soon, so I hope that goes well for him. Wishing you the best of lucks and getting back afloat smoothly. As for my ask, well, I discovered your works ever since 4 years ago, if I remember correctly, and oh man, non-gendered. Your drawings have made such an impact in my own art style. Hoping to not sound negatively condescending, but you have actually become my major inspiration. I don't think that's condescending. Thank you. And with that, a question I've had for a while now, with hopes that it doesn't come as too invasive. How do you design your characters? Each one of them is so unique and so fun. I'd like to know if there might be a process or certain inspirations for bringing them to life. Or maybe if there are certain motifs that are kept between them, or if they were meant to represent certain concepts. You know. Anyway, I'm truly excited for the CDs. That is still in the process, by the way. It's just that I need to go slow because I'm not rich, and CD packaging costs a bit, and also like putting it together is a bit... I fully encourage your decision to take your own time and going at your own pace, and if you ever feel that you need to give yourself some more time away, you have my full support. Wishing you an amazing rest of the day." Thank you, Yeasario. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. So, this question actually, how do you design your characters? I answered on co-host a thing about this where someone asked me, like, how do you design your characters? And I replied trying to just talk generally about, like, how to develop one's own style, and also gave my own examples. Actually, like, giving examples about motifs in my characters, too. So I'm going to put a link in the description for that. But generally, with designing my characters, oh, man. With designing my characters, I kind of just, like, think about what I like. There's no, like, there's either a really short answer, which is I think about what I like, or there's the really long answer, which is like the co-host thing, which is basically like taking my time over years. Like, the way I design my characters is a process that I have gotten to through years of drawing characters. So, like, the way that I design them comes specifically from the way that I think, and my memories and experiences and characters I've drawn in the past, and things that I like currently and things that I like in the past, and how I'm feeling, why I'm feeling that way, etc. So, like, yesterday I finalized a character design, which was... Okay, well, I'm going to show Nuez first. So this is Nuez. Yes, I know, I can't believe it. Nuez, Lady Belle herself. And I was making an alternate version who is based on a character that Nuez has. Well, it became based on that character, but at first it was just an alternate version of Nuez, who is also a necropossum, which is a species design in Floorverse, which is a possum, but when they can die once and then be undead. And I wanted a version of Nuez that was a necropossum who was already kind of undead, and I realized that I could make her design based on this old design of a character that Nuez, the original Nuez, made, and so then I ended up drawing that, and so that's the character on the screen now, hopefully, if I remember to do that. If I don't, what am I doing? I'm not re-listening to this video before I'm posting it, and that's a problem. Anyway... And there's, like, a lot of design choices that are from characters I previously made, like Nuez and her character. It's all building upon each other. Or, like, Nuez and this character have cartoon gloves. So many of my characters recently have cartoon gloves because I just love cartoon gloves. I'm like, you know what?
I don't care anymore. I'm just gonna give them cartoon gloves. I keep doing it because it makes me happy. And sometimes it's that simple. If you follow what makes you happy and continue to experiment to understand what makes you happy, you will eventually develop your own like personal visual language, and you will make things that are personalized to you. They will be fun for you and you will like them. So that's kind of where I go there. For motifs, the one I mentioned in the co-host, the two I think I mentioned was actually striped necks, which a lot of my characters have, and Noise herself, because I do a lot with her, where she has this gigantic bow, and I love it, and with that bow, I convey for myself, like, I denote certain things about the character. So I'm going to use a different example with Noise and Noisoid, and Noisoid also has a bow. The bow to me is like it's like a representation of like being extra, being like feminine but cartoonish and extra, and that's because Noise is cartoonish and extra. So like when I transplant that onto a different character, that's the feeling that it gives me. Like, okay, and on top of that, it's because I can use the bow to share, to convey emotions too, where in the Noisoid image her bow is like drooping or whatever, you know. So there are these like different aspects of Noise that I associate with different feelings, and so then when I make a design, I use those things based on what it makes me feel, and then I put it onto a character. So like there are motifs in my art, I guess, but like there's a lot where it's a motif that I used in a specific time of my life, or like representing a specific character, and so on. And yeah. Catherine A.211, Catharinia.211, they asked, now that I have time to comment, I like the idea of a Q&A video, especially if you think it'll be easier to convey what you mean by just saying it rather than typing. As for my question, one of the things that struck me about your channel is your really interesting style in both music and art. So what parts about that style do you have the most fun with / like the most? I.e. things that are fun to draw, motifs you like to put in songs, etc. Okay, so this is kind of similar to the question about like what's your favorite part of the process, but I'm answering this one differently because it is specifically about specific things that I like to do rather than what part of a process I enjoy. So yeah, songs, I really like putting laughter. I used to do it more, but then I started feeling like I was cringe for it, and that sucks because I just want to do what I want to do. If I'm cringe for it, I'm cringe for it. I really, I love putting samples of cartoons. Like, there are like a bunch of artists who like sample anime, especially anime girls, and I want to be the guy who samples a bunch of cartoon characters. Or I don't even have to be that guy. Like, other people can also be that guy. Or girl. Or non-gender. I really like when I can make a song sound like there's a creature in it. I'm going to play a little piece from a daily track I made where I kind of like wobble the sound a bit so then it sounds, I don't know, like just hear it. It kind of sounds like a thing that's like making a noise. Like I love it.
Anyway, I can like bells. It's harder to describe with music because I'm so disconnected from music lately, but I'm trying. But I really like when I can like put someone screaming. There's this guy in D2, which is one of my favorite games, Sega Dreamcast. I actually want to make a D2 Let's Play. I started it, and then I decided to try to 100% the metal hunting, which is like hunting a bunch of animals, and they're like, it takes forever. But anyway, in D2 there's this guy who's like yelling about having to play a piano right, and that guy, I resonate with him on a spiritual level, and now I understand why, because I have perfectionist OCD. But like, he's just like you just like knock and he's like, stop it. I have to play this song right.
I have to play this song right. Practice, 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 practice. Do you understand? Now leave me alone. Stop it. Stop it. Just stop it. Why won't you leave me alone? Don't you understand? Every note has got to be perfect. You can never understand. Just leave me alone. Go away. Go away. Go away. Get lost.
I love that guy. I love when I can have an excuse to put that guy in a song. I can play a little bit of a song with that guy in it. Loud Warning, because it's an intense song. It's for Davidodactica, who's a character of mine who is just... I love him. But he's scary and has issues. Anyway, yeah, song... Okay, I'm assuming I edited the song in. As for art, I love drawing scrunched things. Like, I'm gonna put on the screen some art of, like, that, because I don't know how to describe it better, but I like drawing scrunched things. I'm, like, literally looking through my sketchbook right now, looking for the specific image that I know I'm gonna put in this video. Anyway, clothing folds. Oh my god, I love clothing folds. Which is interesting to me because I actually really struggled with clothing folds when I was a teen. Was I a teen? I might have been younger. I might have been a preteen. But like, I would like read books and they would be like, how to draw clothing folds. Imagine cloth in a 3D space, etc., etc. And I have aphantasia, I have the thing where you can't really visualize well in your brain. And so I was just like, that's not helping me. That was so frustrating. It was so frustrating. But now I really like to draw it. Although, like, I was going to say I'm not the best at it, but, like, I don't have to be the best at it, you know? But, like, I still feel insecure about it sometimes. But I really like it. I like the way that it looks to have this sort of structure in something. Like, if you have, like, this cartoon character, but they have, like, a jacket and it's got, like, detail to it. It's kind of it's kind of like when like Sonic characters, like, oh man, early 2000s. Wow, I'm like unlocking deep buried memories. There'd be some like Sonic webcomics that had like Sonic characters that were like really rendered with like really rendered clothes and shoes and stuff, and I thought that was the coolest. I was like, how did they draw that? And
man. So I love drawing clothing. I can like to draw plants for scenery sometimes. I think it depends. It really depends. I really just like things that feel kind of structured. Like, I'm thinking about Luxurium's hair, where somebody said it looked like, God, what is it? What did they say it looked like? Fuck, what's the mineral that makes cubes? Let's see if... No, that's not it. Is this it? That's not it. There we go. Somebody said it looked like bismuth. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And that was awesome. I was like, wow, I didn't even think about that. So I like when things kind of have like a volume or texture or structure to it. I like drawing those things. I like drawing cartoon gloves. I like drawing characters with their eyes off of their face. I like when where they've got kind of like a really intense look. That I appreciate that. What else do I like to draw? I like to draw like monsters or like creatures that feel very like strong, where they feel like, I guess, structured again, like sinewy or stuff. Like, I like that, but I don't often get to do it, but I do like that. I like talons. I don't know, I like monstery things, cartoon things, clothes. Let's see. And then next... Wow, we only have 2 more questions to the art section. We're doing it, guys. We're doing it. It's not 8 hours long. We got Funky Jester 17. Ooh, I'd love a Q&A video. That sounds so fun. My question is, do you enjoy fan art of your characters? If so, where would be the best place to post it? I've been itching to draw some of them. Okay, so this is a question about fan art that I was alluding to earlier. As mentioned, I can like fan art of my characters. I'm really trying to get better about that. It's a little bit hard to answer this question because I'm mainly on co-host, and I think co-host doesn't at you. Like, if you at people on co-host, they don't get a notification. But if you post on co-host and you send me an ask, I will go check it out. The other thing is, I am still setting up a server, so I do think that the best place to post fan art would be on that server. However, 1, I don't know if the server's up by the time I post this video. 2, I want the server to be people who are 21 and up. I don't want to deal with minors in my server. I'm sorry. I don't know if you're a minor, Funky Jester 17. I'm just like saying it generally that I want to be able to just kind of have a space and chill with people and not feel like I need to take care of people. I have really bad struggles with feeling responsible for others, and I don't want to feel that in my server. So I do want to say that the server is going to be 21 plus. So yeah. Okay, so then another good place to post would probably be on YouTube. I've seen people like post on YouTube before, like they like post in like their community tab and just like at me, and they've done fan art. I've seen that like once or twice. I think that's it. I stopped using Twitter and Tumblr. I kind of want to use DeviantArt again, but not so much really. I'm thinking about it. We did it! We got to the final question! Oh, what? Oops. Apparently the question was if there are specific inspirations for my music or art style, which I already answered. Oh my goodness, we did it. We got through the first video and it is only... It's under 2 hours!
Oh my god, yes! I really genuinely thought this was going to be like an 8-hour endeavor, thanks to that first question taking probably an hour just on its own. That's awesome. Oh, that's right, the miscellaneous question. Oh, that's right, okay. So, the miscellaneous question for this video is, okay, I thought on and off about a question to ask. Oh wait, shit, I forgot to read the person. Eclipse Cat asks, okay, I thought on and off about a question to ask for the Q&A for the last 2 months, and I finally got it. Admittedly, it's kind of dumb, I know, haha, but have you played Minecraft? If so, when? Did you enjoy your time with it? It's kind of an odd question, sure, but Minecraft has been basically the most important thing to me since like 2009. So while I could think of many other questions, I would rather ask about if you've played a silly game I like, lol. Yes, I have. I am not particularly good at it, but I have played it. I played it more frequently before. Not currently. I've been busy with other stuff, but I have played it, and I was originally recording these videos with Minecraft as a backdrop, and I have footage from that because I was originally gonna open this video with like a clip from like my old Minecraft video that I was trying to do for this, and so like I made like a short compilation, and then I just had this compilation because I was like, I'm not gonna do that anymore. And then I saw your question, and I was like, oh my god, yes, I can put Minecraft here. So, the following is Minecraft footage. Have fun, everybody. I don't know when the next video of this is going to come out. Maybe, hopefully not take as long as this first one. Because we still got to get to the specifically music questions, the character lore questions, and the twins questions. Okay, I hope that was fun. Bye! Hi, welcome to my Q&A video. This is Foxboy Shuichi, which is, which is my single player world. I know it says that I accessed this today. It's in 1:30 a.m., but actually that was because I had the idea for a Q&A while playing Minecraft, and I was like, I'm gonna go see what the single player world looks like. And I hadn't touched it in like 2 years, and well, this is actually pretty nice. Oh shit. Well, I should probably make shears so I can make a bed. Furnace. It's really like bizarre to think about how oh wait, shit, I forgot to put coal. No. Oh my god. There's so many sheep here. I didn't even know. Minecraft, but I'm a vegetarian, I guess. I need some water. A bee! A bee buzzes happily. Happy bee. Music-wise, oh, there it is. There's the beehive. It's full of honey. Wait, I have shears. Isn't that like how I get honey? Is it gonna attack me? I don't want that. Wait, oh, I can get leaves. I can get leaves with shears. Oh, fucking shit. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for killing a bee. I'm sorry. I thought I could just get it. I forgot. Oh, that's right. I'm supposed to smoke it or something like that. Question mark. Hey, welcome to my Minecraft Let's Play. I'm not actually good at Minecraft. Can I not put it sideways? I want it sideways. Oh, well. Okay. should probably make armor. That probably would have helped me with the bees. But I want food. But I'm not getting any bones anytime soon.
Minecraft, but I'm a vegetarian, I guess.
So what's your opinion on Evangelion? Evangelion was ... goes inside. Fuck, what the hell? Go on, let me do my thing. Goes inside my house. Please let me inside the house. Thank you. My original experience with Evangelion was not a very good one, but I do want to preface this with saying that my emotional literacy as a teen was -20, maybe. And so I'd have these emotional reactions to Evangelion, but not realize that my reactions were feelings. I wouldn't really understand that I was having a feeling. Oh, that's nice. I wouldn't really know what to do with those feelings except try to, like, be really objective about it. Like, oh, this is just, like, bad. This is just... I don't get why people like this. And, you know, I didn't get it, so that was correct. I did not understand. Bone meal. Yes. Is this like it? Yes. Okay, cool. Oh, that was it. Fuck. This isn't maybe the best setup. It's okay. We'll make it work. Oh. Oh. It just went in there, huh? Oh shit! Whoops. Well. Let me in, please. Hooray.
Uh,